welcome back, wax friends. It's April, your independent Scentsy consultant and fellow wax addict. So today I have a new video for you guys, and this is a little controversial, I'll say, at least some of the topics I'm going to discuss. This is the 10 things that I would change with all of my wax journey if I could go back in time and change things. And I just know that number 8 is going to get me in trouble. So let's go ahead and just dive on in. Number 1 change I would make if I had to do everything over again would be when there's a new vendor to not go in hard and heavy, to make a smaller purchase just from the get-go. Now hear me out, you guys. I know everyone's all excited. There's a new vendor and everybody's buzzing about it and you want to buy all the things, right? So then you buy all the things and you get home and you start warming everything and it just doesn't perform for you in your house. You're disappointed, you get cranky, you get mad, you start typing in, this wax sucks, this vendor doesn't work in my house, and you know, you have to stash it. It's just a huge pain in the butt. So don't do it, you guys. If you're trying out a new vendor, go in small, see how it performs in your home, because everybody's home is different. Just thank me later, you'll be happier if you do this. Okay, number 2 on my list is not dating and putting labels with scent notes on my Scentsy wax bars or wax in general if they don't have them on there right when I get my wax. So, you know, if you don't do this, things start to pile up. You get overwhelmed and you can't remember when you bought it. You can't remember what the scent notes are. You have to go look it up. You have a big, huge pile of all these things you have to do. You know, if you just do it right when it comes in, and I know it does take effort and it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of planning, it'll just make your life so much easier. Now, what I do, or at least try to do, is these little labels right here. I just get them on Amazon. I put a date on them, and then for like my scent notes, these little stickers right here, sometimes I type them in, sometimes I handwrite them in, just depends on my mood. It just makes your life so much easier, especially if, you know, you really want to know, you know, when did I get this one? I typically am a first wax in, first wax out kind of a gal. I like to warm my older bars, my older wax first if I have, you know, multiple scents. It's just easier that way. Things don't go bad. You are able to know what you're warming, know the scent notes, and it just makes your life so much easier if you just plan ahead and do it beforehand. You know, not when you have like a whole stack up to here to do all at once. So that's what I wish I would have done, because I have a big, huge stack that I'm still trying to work on putting my scent notes and my dates on. So that's number 2. Number 3 on my list is not storing my wax properly. And I've really come to have my own little system here where a lot of my Scentsy bars, I do have those wax wine coolers that I use, and if I can find a picture, I'll post one up here of it. But if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen me going through them to try to find out scents. So that's one thing that I have changed. But I have seen it on de-stash groups where someone's posting a whole lot of stuff that they're, you know, wax they're trying to sell, and they take a picture and their wax is in their garage. People, what are you doing? Your wax is in a garage. It's gonna get hot, it's gonna get sweaty, it's gonna get gross. Another thing I see people doing is, you know, some vendors, you really do need to double bag their wax, otherwise they can kind of leach out the scent. So just careful planning on how you store your wax. Just do it properly. It'll last longer. You spend a lot of money on this stuff, you guys. You know, you want it to last. You don't want to start going off. I know that's happened before with certain bars that I've had. Store it properly. You will thank me later when you have your beautiful, yummy wax to smell that you spend a lot of money on, you guys. Number 4 on my list is in relation to Scentsy, and that is not claiming my favorite Scentsy wax bars. So a lot of times what I used to do was I would just stock up on them when they'd be in a flash sale, and I'd have a ton of bars, and then they're all there at once, and then I feel pressure, oh, I need to get through my wax. And then there's some bars where I haven't seen come back before, and my list is long. I think I have like 30 bars on my list that I am dying to have come back. And you guys, some of them aren't going to be back for like 5 more years, because the rules for bring back my bar, you know, 5 years if it's been in a bring back my bar, and then there are other rules, like usually it's like 2 years if it's been discontinued, but it could be a really long time until you can get that wax. So I don't know. I'm sad. I'm sad that I have so many bars, you know, sweet plum pastry that I'm hoping to get back, watermelon mint. And, you know, I don't know when some of these bars are going to come back. Who knows? So do yourself a favor. You'll be a lot happier if you love a bar, club it, because you just don't know when it's going to come back, and save yourself that Scentsy heartbreak. Number 5 on my list is trying too many vendors at once. Now, I know. You're all excited. Everybody wants to try all the new vendors. Your friends are buying all the new vendors. And what ends up happening is you place all these little orders for all these new vendors. You don't even know how they perform in your house, right? You don't even know, but you try all these new vendors, and then they all start coming in at once. And pretty soon, your office is piled up high with boxes, and you're gonna pull your hair out because you don't know what to do, and you're overwhelmed. Your office is a mess. So just do yourself a favor, and you know, maybe what I am doing now is I'm trying out one, maybe 2 vendors a year, placing small orders with them, really trying to figure out their niche, like what I feel like they're good at for me and my house and my scent preferences. And it's just been a lot less overwhelming because, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've had so many boxes with new vendors, and I just don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Too many boxes to try to, you know, make a video because there's, you know, 5 different vendors I need to do, and I'm just overwhelmed. So new me, this, you know, this coming year, next few years is, you know, 1 to 2 vendors a year that I'm going to try, new vendors to me. And I just think that's going to make my life a lot less complicated, a lot less stressed out. And I just think that I'll be in a happier wax melting place. Okay. Number 6 is not letting my wax cure if it needs curing. Now this is both Scentsy wax and vendor wax because, you know, you're excited, your wax starts coming in and you just want to melt all of the things. Certain vendors are notorious for needing to have their wax cure, and when you don't do that, you open it up and you start warming everything right away, and you're disappointed, you're sad, you're mad, you think their wax sucks, you think that, you know, you're never buying from them again, and then lo and behold, a couple months later, after you let their wax cure, it's like the greatest thing on earth you've ever smelled, and you're eating crow and you feel like an ass because you made this big stink over something that really, you know, was kind of your fault, especially when vendors let you know, hey, my wax, you know, is better to cure, you know, 2 months, 3 months, some is right away. But for me, I always find that just a little tiny bit of cure time, no matter who the vendor is, really does help out a lot. It makes me much happier when I can warm everything and smell everything and not be cranky. So that would be number 6 on my list of things I would do differently. Okay, number 7 on my list is FOMO, and that is fear of missing out. So for me, I used to have to buy from, you know, every single vendor's pre-order, and anybody that was having a pre-order, I would do it. And every single time, you know, all my friends were doing it, and it became super stressful, super unmanageable, super unsustainable. That's a lot of money, you guys. So now what I'm doing is really trying to be picky. You know, I pick and choose which vendors I'm going to do a pre-order with. You know, if I have a lot of wax from a vendor already, I am not going to, you know, place an order every single time. You know, I love helping out my friends, my vendors, but you have to be true to yourself. You have to do what you can do, what makes you happy, what makes you not feel overwhelmed, what's good for your budget. Just don't feel the pressure. Vendors are really, really good about re-pouring things that you love, taking requests. They really do try to help you and bend over backwards so many times to just make the customer happy. So don't feel the pressure. Just, you know, place an order when you can. Do what's manageable for you. And you don't need to be worried, you know, if everybody else is doing it, because, you know, people are getting overwhelmed. It's overwhelming when you have so much wax and you don't know what to do with it. And I don't know, for me, I'm just trying to take a simpler approach to it. So that is one thing I would change, or just, you know, not feeling the pressure to order from every single vendor, every single pre-order, every single time. Okay, number 8, and I just know that this one is going to get me into so much trouble, you guys, but I'm just trying to be honest here, and this is how I feel. Round robins. Now, Are they fun? Sure, they can be a lot of fun. You can meet some great friends, new wax friends. You can try out some new scents. It can be really fun. But there's a dark side to that because, you feel like, oh, around Robin, everybody's going to want to put in their favorite scent so everyone can, kind of experience it and smell it. And you guys, that's not always the reality. So sometimes you can get something called ass wax. Basically where sometimes people put in scents they don't like. They're just trying to get rid of it because it's not good. Sometimes it's old, 5, 6, 7-year-old wax. Sometimes people take out all the really good vendor wax, I want all the Teddy Bees, I want all the Sassy Girl aroma. And then they put in Walmart wax. They put in wax, again, that's, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So proceed with caution is what I'm going to say with this one. Now, will I never do a round robin again? No, I'm not going to say that, but I think the key to that would be really know who it is that is in your round robin group, okay? Make sure you trust them, that they're not going to just pull out all the good stuff and throw in all the crap wax. And also, have some rules. Like the last one we did was we kind of tried to plan it where it was going from, the closest destination wax, because what happens is when wax is going here and there and everywhere, it gets broken, it gets squashed, it's, some of it's in transit for a really long time if it's, a wax that no one's picked, from the get-go. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. I know I'm going to get hate for this one, but it's true. It's just, I want you to have a good round robin experience. So if you do participate in it, just be careful. Be careful, have some rules, some guidelines, and just make sure that you're trading with people that, that you trust. And also, don't be too picky, because I am super picky with wax. I'm a wax snob. I don't like florals. I don't like a lot of specific kind of scents. I don't like a lot of retail wax. I like vendor wax. I like Scentsy, but retail wax, like Walmart wax, just doesn't really work for me in my warmers. So just go into it knowing, who you're dealing with, what the rules are, and that kind of a situation. So that's all I have to say about that one. Okay, number 9 deals with Scentsy specifically, and that is, I regret sometimes when there's a flash sale, I just black out, go crazy, and I'll get like so many bars of the same thing or so many bundles of the same thing, and then I don't know what to do with it all. So case in point, there was a Bake That bundle, and I think it was, sweet plum pastry, lemon coconut chiffon, brownie batter, and there was another scent. I don't remember what it was, but there was another scent in it. So, oh, custard apple. It was custard apple, I think. So what I did was I bought 35 bars because it had sweet plum pastry in it, and I love sweet plum pastry. Haven't been able to get that one in my club, so I bought 35 bundles of this stuff. Well, I don't really like custard apple, and I don't really like brownie batter, so I've got 70 bars of wax that I don't like, even though I have my lemon coconut chiffon and my sweet plum pastry, that I love, but I've got these other 70 bars total that I don't know what to do with. So I don't know, I would kind of change that up. I'm gonna have to learn to be patient, that eventually scents are gonna come back. Don't need to freak out. Eventually things will make its way back into Bring Back My Bar, and just don't go overboard if you don't like everything. Wax does have a shelf life, and Scentsy does pretty well for me, but there are some bars I have had where, it's gone off. It's not just discolored, but it gets super sweaty really quickly, certain scents, and certain bars just kind of smell off. And one of them that I can think of is Sunburst Bamboo. Love that one, but man, that's a bar that is much better to warm, with a fresh pour. So, if you bought 35 bars of this, Sunburst Bamboo, chances are, by the time you get around to warming them all, it might not be the best conditions. So all I have to say is, just kind of maybe go in a little smaller, more realistic. That's how I'm approaching it, and being a little bit more realistic with my purchases and not going crazy and blacking out. And it's hard, you guys. I know it's hard. You know, these are some of our favorite scents, but it's my best advice for you guys. And number 10, rounding everything out, is I regret sometimes hoarding some of my favorite scents. You guys, wax is meant to be enjoyed and loved and warmed. I know it's so hard. You have your favorite, bar, your favorite scent, and you're holding on to that last piece of it because you just don't know when it's going to come back. But you guys, eventually things do come back. And again, wax should be enjoyed. You should just live in the moment, really enjoy it. And, wouldn't it suck to, have your favorite wax, sit because you just can't, have the heart to warm your last little bit, and then you warm it finally and, you can't really smell it that well. So that is it, you guys. Those are the 10 things I would do differently if I had to start all over again. Some regrets, just some looking back and reevaluating, and kind of coming up with a better plan for my situation. And I hope that you found this helpful. Leave a comment below if there are any things you would do differently in your wax journey. What would you do different? What would you prefer? What have you not done yet that you'd like to try? Maybe maybe it is around robin. I don't know. Leave a comment below and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.